in a sales environment, that should be the last concern. What should be a concern is the motherfucker sitting at home, never hitting their number and stealing money.
You know what? Now that it's my own company, there is something to do at 9:50 p.m. at night. And that was really a paradigm shift for me. That was a big, I generate everything to build in that company, man. Everything, all my thoughts. And it's just like, you ever have like like a little kid that has too much sugar? I dated this girl once that had a 2-year-old, and if you gave him like too many pixie sticks, he'd like start shaking because he didn't
cocaine.
he didn't know what to do with his energy. He didn't know what to do with his energy.
Are you serious? He literally shake.
He literally would shake, and it was kind of like funny. You're like, oh shit, we'll give him a lollipop, and
I'm out.
And it was not like we weren't overfeeding the kid sugar. I mean, he had like 2 bites. It's just how we reacted to it.
And watch this motherfucker shake. What is up, everybody? Shawn French here with another podcast of the Determined Society. I have with me today one of my good buddies, John Cerasani. Man, I met him on Instagram, and it's so funny because I feel like every time I get on my show, I talk about how many cool dudes I'm meeting on social media sites. I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea, but here's the thing. Like, there's very few people that in my immediate circle here on a day-to-day basis I can really connect with. And when I get the opportunity to meet somebody like John, man, I really embrace the opportunity because he's a high-level dude. You know, he understands business. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's got a great eye for things. And like, I just absolutely love interacting with him on a day-to-day basis. So I just want to tell you a little bit about him before we get started. And I can promise you this episode right here has been requested by probably more than a dozen people. So we're trying to give the world what they want. Hopefully those 12 people can share the shit out of the show and get amazing reviews because, this is going to be a dynamic conversation. So, like I said, John is a serial entrepreneur, business expert, and venture capitalist. He splits his time between Los Angeles and Chicago, and he has been featured on Fox, NBC, WGN, and CBS. Notably, though, this is a good one. He was featured in Crane's Business 40 Under 40 at the age of 27. He is recently retired and then unretired, and I want him to talk about a little bit about what he does. I won't steal all his thunder, but man, this guy is an amazing jack of all trades, brilliant fucking mind, and I call him a good friend. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. As you're telling that story, I'm trying to remember, did I slide into your DMs or did you slide into mine?
Dude, you slid into mine.
Yeah.
I was dude, I'm
like,
the way it went.
You out? Sup? You out?
Yeah, what's up? Like, no, dude, you did, man. You slid into my DMs and you complimented me on my content. It was really funny because that was like right around the time when people were starting to do that. You were like, I think you were the first one.
Yeah,
you're my first slider of DMs.
Well, I think a lot of us have started to learn, especially the people that are newer to the, to the influencer Instagram game, especially. Everyone else that's been doing it has seen it come and go, but getting comments on Instagram might be the equivalent of finding a needle in a haystack. It is very difficult to actually get people to comment. And other influencers, I think, understand that. And I don't know. I just try to shout out to people, hey, good shit right there, bro.
Nah, bro, I definitely appreciate it because you're right. Especially now. It's like I feel like it's one of those things. I think I was talking to the other day. I'm like, fuck, man, am I shadow banned? What's going on? Like, this content is better. Yep. Like, why the fuck isn't it performing? Yeah. And, it just is what it is. And so I appreciated it. And, guys that are listening and girls, that we started communicating back and forth. And what I realized is like, we had way more in common than I actually realized. And we were we have that same edgy energy. We got a same sick sense of humor in so many ways. And if you watch his stuff and then you kind of take a peek at my stuff, you could see how we would be connected. But man, I'm just super happy we finally got this fucking done, dude.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here, brother. Happy to be here, man.
Dude. Funny story for everybody listening. John and I both have a very considerable following on Instagram, and he all of a sudden has blown up on TikTok. So this motherfucker asks me to do a live with him on TikTok. It was the most embarrassing thing I've ever gone through in my life. Like, honestly, dude, you motherfucker. Like, literally, we're sitting there. And by the way, like, I wish this was recorded or being able to be accessed somewhere in the interwebs, because he's literally sitting on this fucking TikTok live. Like, where's my guest? He's supposed to be here. I'm like, motherfucker. Like, I couldn't go live. Apparently on TikTok, it's like you have to have 1,000 followers on TikTok to go live, or even to be a guest on someone's live. So I'm sitting here and I'm watching this whole shitstorm, just surround him, and everybody's like, hey, try this, try that. And he couldn't keep up with the comments, but man, it was so funny. Like, I'm humble enough to say, like, I suck on TikTok. I got to figure that shit out. And I will. I've got some things. Don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen. I have some things in the works, and we're going to figure that thing out shortly. But it's just a little funny story about me and John, and man, it was fun to watch you squirm, dude.
Yeah. Well, I ran out of shit to talk about because it got up to like 90 live viewers or some shit. And that's a lot for a TikTok live. And, I only had, I think, a 5,000 or so followers at the time. And 90 are sitting there watching. I'm like, dude, what the hell, bro? So I'd they start reading a book. Oh, here's how I started off as they were waiting for my friend Shawn to come in. Anyway.
Yeah, I guess it's better, guys, that he said, I don't know where he's at, than to say, like, well, the fucking loser doesn't have 1,000 followers, so he can't join us.
Well, dude, honestly, I did figure it out at one point that was the issue, and I didn't want to freaking say it out loud on the damn thing. So, but you said it on the podcast.
It's all good. I'm sitting there in the comment section, like, bro, take this to fucking Instagram where I'm relevant. Like this, but whatever. But no, dude, like, again, this has been something that you and I have been tossing around for quite some time.
Right, man.
About coming on the show, and we never really made it happen until, I finally called you out the other day. I'm like, hey, bro, like, are we going to fucking do this? Or are we going to do this? And so when you said, like, hey, let's do this, I cleared out, I got to be honest, I cleared out my schedule because I wanted to make sure that you and I could get on here and have this amazing conversation. And one of the things I was thinking about is, like, where in his fucking castle is he going to be? You have so many fucking amazing backdrops. Like, I just want to kick you right in your nuts.
Yeah, they're real too. It's not a green room. This is actually.
Yeah, no. Like my favorite. I think my favorite's the fountain.
Yeah, the fountain, bro. Yeah. I got that fountain. I had. If you've ever been to, for your listeners, if you've ever been to like a nice office lobby where, like, in the backdrop behind the secretary or receptionist, they have like the waterfall with the mirror behind it with the company's logo. When I was living at the Trump Tower when I turned 40 years old, and in downtown Chicago. And, a lot of 40-year-olds will have some type of midlife crisis, like buy a Corvette or, whatever. My midlife crisis was, I'm getting a freaking custom fountain made that you get in office buildings. Call around and everyone's like, you want to for your house? What? And they literally had to weld it together in my condo at the Trump, and it turned out amazing. But eventually I ended up renting that place out and moving out to a big house out here in the suburbs. And moving that thing was very, very difficult. We had about a half inch to work with by fitting through the doorway. And because it was welded together, and so anyway, it was.
Because I know at one point I didn't know you rented out the residence at the Trump Towers, but like I knew that you moved to the suburbs when your kids got to a certain age, and you moved out there. So
well, here's the thing though. I rented it out. Actually, if anybody's into private equity, a big firm out in Chicago, it's called Jackson Dearborn, and Madison Dearborn, and one of the original founders there was renting my place from me at the Trump, and he was in between houses. He was building some big place down by you, I think, Shawn, and a little bit further down in Naples. And he goes, I'll take it rented because we're putting all our shit in storage or getting new shit. And I go, okay, perfect. It's taking it furnished. I don't need to do anything. He comes and looks at it. He goes, well, wait a minute. The waterfall can't say it. It has your damn name on it. You got to get that out here. And I'm like, motherfucker, please. Can I take a couch or a big screen TV? That waterfall is going to be very difficult to move, my friend.
Not the easy thing to move, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So
you hired someone to do it, right? You didn't do it yourself.
Dude, I hired movers to do it, and then they couldn't do it. So I had to pay these guys an extra like $600 under the table to not tell their boss that I'm helping them, that they're going to move the thing because they didn't have the right insurance for it or whatever. And literally, I was right there with them moving that. But
Jesus.
Anyway, man, that's a midlife crisis.
Someone from with your background, bribing people with extra dollars, to do something they don't have fucking insurance for. God dang, that's hilarious.
Right. Exactly. Call the Teamsters.
It's like the people that try to jump on your roof.
Yeah, well, dude, that was not a good move by
Jesus,
I'll tell you right. I will expose you. You do illegal shit around me, I will expose you. I'm just kidding. I'll be general about it. I won't be a snitch. I'll just make it.
Exactly.
I'll make it.
That's why we can't hang out. He's too scared.
Yeah.
He's too scared. I'm going to bring down his street cred. I'm too crazy.
Yeah. If you don't know how I responded to something you offered me, just watch my TikTok and you'll see it. You won't be named, but you might.
You know who you are, motherfucker.
Yeah,
you know it's you. You know it's you.
Topic.
Someone's watching that and be like, dude, he's talking about us.
Dude, seriously.
We're fucking famous.
Well, it's amazing. And for your audience, okay, so I did a TikTok on contractors coming to your house and telling you they want to look at your damn roof and repair it. And, I'm like, okay, well, whatever. They try to tell you there's hail damage. That's a big thing in the Midwest. There's hail damage. And then they freaking find hail damage and give you a free roof and bill your insurance company for it. First of all, there's usually not hail damage. They're doing it to get the free thing, but you're not going to go up there with them during the damn inspection. Well, and then they start talking about waiving your deductible. Dude, you're a contractor. You can't waive my deductible. That's between me and the insurance company, bro.
Right.
And so it starts this whole damn conversation on TikTok and Instagram, actually, about if that's insurance fraud or not. And it's funny watching people come out of the woodwork. The good contractors are like, yep, this shit happens all the time. These scumbags, I lose business to them. Damn. But then you got the consumers that are like, whoa, what's the problem here, bro? Sounds like why you snitching or so a lot of people just disagree that it's not illegal in the first place. So anyway,
interesting.
And that is how you go viral. Have people arguing in your comments, my friend.
Dude, seriously, I got to piss some people off, man.
Yeah, seriously.
You got to take a page out of your book. It's coming.
All right,
dude. So listen, man. The one of the things that I love about your background is we have a similar for a Division I experience in college athletics. For those of you who don't know, John played football at Notre Dame. Actually, got to play for Lou Holtz. That's pretty fucking amazing.
Yep.
And then he went on and played at Northwestern.
Yep.
So I love that part about you because, it's just like, all right, the upbringing, the everyday life was probably the same.
Right.
A lot of, hey, what looks good? What is perfect? How do we get better?
Yep.
But the thing that's most impressive is what you did in your career. You were with a big box insurance company and you decided, hey, fuck it. I'm going to start my own shit. And you laid quiet for a while because, you didn't want to be on the radar. But then finally you said, fuck it. I'm going to go after, I'm going to go big. And I think in your words, you just, lived your truth and, tell everybody else a story. Once that happened, like, where did that take your life from there?
Yeah. So out of college, once I realized I wasn't going to be playing professional football due to an injury, not because of due to a lack of talent, by the way, I should throw.
I've seen highlights, man.
I'm not kidding, actually. Yeah. So I went into the insurance world and, it was pretty cool because I'm glad I fell into that space. I went into that space because of the potential of money. I could see that, you eat what you kill. You could rise up relatively quickly, recognize that with in my job interviews and decided to go that direction. Well, after a few years in the industry, I started looking around, man, and I'm like, gosh, I'm at with this insurance giant right now. And it was my second job in the industry. And I'm like, dude, these guys are supposed to be the creme de la creme of this insurance industry. And everybody's looking to them like they're the gold standard. And I'm a 26-year-old kid right here. And dude, I'm not even delegating shit to the 40 and 50-year-olds that are supposed to be my account management team or customer service, because I don't think they're going to do as good of a job as me. They're not going to send an email and be all over this damn thing, following up 2 hours later to make sure, hey, is this getting done right? I remember visiting our underwriters' offices one day, and I was like shocked, scratching my head. We're sitting there waiting for proposals back from the underwriting team, and they're freaking having a birthday party for Susie or some shit.
Yeah.
And
Happy birthday, Susie.
Yeah. and everyone's leaving at 4:55 PM. And that's just the way the world works. So it's kind of an epiphany to me. Okay. That, maybe it's lessons I learned playing football, or maybe it's just, maybe I was good at football because I already had this in me. You don't know the chicken or the egg.
Right. Exactly.
But it forced me to the clients I was bringing in. I'm supposed to delegate this account management team to. No, man, I didn't want to. The hardest part was getting the client. The easiest part was keeping them. So I've already demonstrated I could bring in the clients, and I'm not even trusting the people that are supposed to keep them. So I'm doing that myself too, for the most part. It don't matter that company I worked at had 20,000 employees. 19,999 of them weren't doing shit on the damn account. So guess what? Why don't I just go do this shit from my freaking kitchen table, go after the same damn types of business? Usually when people do this, it's because they couldn't make it at a firm like that. And they're going to try to go downstream and start calling smaller types of clients, maybe like the beauty salons or the restaurants with like 12 employees. Fuck that noise, bro. I'm going to go after the 200, 300, 400, 500 plus clients, just like my former employer was, just like all the big boys were, the ones that are worth 90 grand a year residual that you'll never freaking lose if you do your job. Well, what's your job? Responding to motherfucking emails thoroughly and timely? You fucking asshole. They fucking emailed you at 3 p.m. Friday and you didn't even reply at all till 2 p.m. Monday to tell them you need a day or two. What's wrong with you, brother?
Dude, it's almost 6 figures, one client, man. Respond to the email.
Thank you. And what I learned was it wasn't necessarily just the people. It's the environment that corporate America was what I call bringing you up in or raising you in. Okay. Corporate America, that client's worth 90 grand, but Jennifer, the account manager, or Mary, the client service rep, or Jeff, the account executive, they weren't making 90 grand on that account. They had a $3 million block of business, and each of them were probably averaging $80,000 or $90,000 salary. Yeah, but I'm the big shot producer. I'm making 140. Big, it's a lot of money back then. It still is now. Don't get me wrong, but wait a minute. What if I bring in $1 million block on my own and do this shit from my house? How's that math going to work? Well, it'll never happen. They're never going to come with you, John. Well, why wouldn't they come with me? No, you need this big time name on your business card. They're not even going to take the meeting. Let's find out, brother. Let's find out. So it was a grind that first year, but you get a couple clients under your belt. You demonstrate that you're able to follow up properly. You are going to do things thoroughly. And that's what I would tell clients. Hey, guys, I could go get a job at the big dogs that you're with right now. I already had one. Okay. But the environment of me working there is going to make me spread myself thin. You're going to get the same exact service with my attention. And here's why, because I'm making all this money on your account, not the corporation that has nothing to do with your actual service. And it worked out for me.
It sure the hell did, man. What was the result long term?
Yeah. So
I already know the answer, but
Yeah. So I built this company up, and I just wanted to replace my income the first couple of years that I was making. Blew through that, and then I was up into the 7 digits by the third year, and it just kept going up from there. Ultimately, 9.5 years later, sold my company to a private equity firm, which is a whole nother conversation, by the way. It's not just the additional money you're making along the way. It's the equity you're building. I have something to sell at the end of this damn thing too.
Of course.
Yeah. And if, in private equity, entering the insurance space, really kind of made me and others in similar situations offers that were difficult to refuse because, as you probably could realize, they have a lot of money to throw around.
They sure as hell do, man. Yeah. What they want is what they want, right? And they see value, and they see what, where they can make money. And, your company was one of those things. So it's a great story, right? And I love hearing it. And I think that, what you get better at every single day and every single week is the ability to tell your story a little bit better.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, thanks, man.
We had a conversation like last week. I'm like, fuck, man, you can tell a story, bro.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, that's why it's kind of funny that we, you were giving me a hard time about how long it took to get on this podcast together. It's kind of better that we're doing it now instead of 6 months ago. I feel like I could focus on the points that people actually give a shit about.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Like, it would have been a great show then. I mean, hell, if we waited another year, it'd be a fucking phenomenal show.
Exactly.
It's still great now. I mean, this is, like I said, I wasn't bullshitting. Like, people have been asking for this collaboration for ever since you and I have been connected and we've been engaging on each other's platforms. It's just like, I feel like my people go follow you and your people come to my page and follow me. And it's just like, I've made some great friends that are, from your platform and from your page. So it's just really, really nice, man. And, I really love that, what's really cool about you. And this is something that you have like this, you have this, athlete's mentality. To where, quite honestly, guys, like, John didn't have to work another fucking day in his life. I mean, it's a fact. Right. It is what it is, right? It's not private information. You can just tell by, the shit that you see on, and the shit, things that he talks about. Like, that's the case. But so what does he do? Like, he retires after he sells his company for loads of money, but then now you unretire and you started Glencrest
Global.
Global. Yeah. I was getting tongue tied. I was like, not a fucking, not a cell phone service. I think it's commendable, man. So what's your experience been with that so far?
Yeah. So what happened was once I sold my company, talk about a shitty 5 years, bro. And I probably shouldn't say that because the company that bought mine, I do owe a lot to. Well, I mean, somebody else would have bought me if they didn't, I guess. But part of our deal was that I had to work there for 5 years, and it wasn't shitty because of the company that bought mine. It was going full circle. You realize the pitfalls of corporate America. Now you get bought, you sell out to corporate America, even though it was backed by private equity, it was still corporate America. And now you have to work in this environment where for 5 years.
And now it's Susie's fucking birthday again.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah. So I had to relearn what I had already learned and unlearned once on purpose. And, anyway, but, you get to the tail end of that and, all right, man, shit, I sold that company in 2015. You'd think I'm freaking going to the Bahamas for a month after that sale, dude. I grew up middle class. Are you kidding me? This is crazy.
Yeah.
When I made from this. But no time to do that because the way the private equity world works, you come over to that new place. Now, don't get me wrong. I had some fun and a little bit of vacation, but it wasn't like a 2-month thing. There was incentives in place during that 5-year period to even make more money. Oh shit, these guys know what they're doing. You're not just going to sell your company and say, hey, fuck yourself, have a nice day. Yeah. No, they're going to make sure you are
Keep feeding the machine. Keep feeding it. Let's go.
And that
they projected that shit. They knew your projections. Dude, and what would it be, annual residual, and renewal. It's like every single year if they had Johnny Boy cranking shit out for him for another 5 years.
Well, and it wasn't just the salary either. They had a way for like they program. I don't want to say the specifics of it, but let's put it this way: somewhere around that 2 or 3 year mark, we were going to re-look at your revenue and compare it to the revenue of when they purchased you 2 or 3 years prior, and whatever that difference is, assuming it's more, they were then, as part of your purchase later, we're going to now pay you a multiple of that delta. So let's say you went up $5 in revenue per year from year 3 to year 1. They might say, okay, we're going to give you 2.5 times that $5 on top of all the money we just paid you. So you talk about a company that knew the formula to motivate a guy like me that you just paid all this shitload of money to. They know the salary ain't going to cut it. There you go. Now somewhere after that year 3, I still had to stay there till year 5. And there was that 2 year period became a little bit, a little touchy, I guess you could say. But so anyway, I got out of that. This is the end now of 2019, finish it. Now I get to go to the Bahamas, brother. Now I'm going to retire. Now I'm going to do all this shit. And, I'm a few months into this crap and I'm throwing a little bit of money around in LA as like an angel investor. And I've always kind of had an affinity towards doing that. I'd invested in Chicago and a couple restaurant groups and some other things, and just had like my eye on unique things to be involved in. I was involved in a Broadway musical once, believe it or not. But I started getting a name for myself relatively quickly in LA by people that, first of all, they knew I wasn't full of shit. Like a lot of people in LA that claim they have money are actually just full of shit.
Right.
And also I didn't act like an LA person. I acted like a freaking Chicago person, which, I didn't really realize it at the time. There was not an act involved with this, but there is a difference in how people go about things. You're actually doing what you say you're going to do, and actually only, actually being able to back up what you're doing, whether your intent was there or not. So I got my name out there pretty quickly as an angel investor, and I decided, you know what, dude, the term angel has a connotation to it. There's not like an exact definition, but there is a connotation to it that you're only writing, relatively small checks, and like 10 grand or 25 grand checks. And the checks I was writing were much larger than that. So what I decided to do was say, you know what, by saying I'm retired and shit, I kind of sound like an asshole anyways. Everyone's, oh, how old are you? And then that becomes the whole conversation.
Sure.
Fun for a minute, but let's move on from that. I actually met Zac Efron once, and we were in a group. We were all out together, and I told him, he asked me what I did, and I said retired. And then that's all we talked about for the next hour. Like, it dominates the conversation.
Right,
so,
sure.
How much other shit I would have liked to talk to Zac Efron about than, why I'm retired. But anyway, exactly. So I've decided to say, you know what, let's I guess rebrand what I'm already doing and really formalize the approach. And with that, I started an LLC called Glencrest Global, which is the equivalent of, say, like a family office, where it's not a fund where we're bringing in other outsiders' money. It's my own capital. And we evaluate usually early stage startup opportunities where I have a 16-person team of advisors that help out. And I try to get into stuff that not only could I infuse capital, but help them with my experience. There's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that, haven't run a business. They're first-time entrepreneurs. There's going to be things within my network, or just my actual business expertise that I could help them with. So that's really the focus. Now, I'm also in some other cool shit beyond that. I try to just get in stuff that insurance was lucrative for me, bro, but it wasn't like the most exciting dinner conversation. So an investment group that's buying the damn Newport Beach Marriott, surfaces, and somebody just fell out and they need someone to fill it. And I had met these guys at some other shit that a bunch of billionaires were at. I'm not a billionaire, but I'm around these guys now.
With a B?
Yeah, a billionaire with a B. That's my pet peeve, by the way. Someone said it on my podcast the other day. I almost jumped through the phone. But anyway, so it's not like Glencrest Global is solely early stage venture capital. We are in some other cool stuff like
that's awesome.
That hotel deal. Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because like if you haven't been an entrepreneur before, right? There's so much shit that you don't know that you're going to deal with.
Right.
I mean, I could take, for me, I've always been very successful in corporate sales. Right. Yep. It's just what I've always done. I know the lay of the land. All I got to do is figure out the sales process for this new company. Yep. I hate saying this. It bothers the shit out of me, but I'm going to say it, but then I'm going to follow it up with something. The features and fucking benefits, right? Like the whole features and benefits selling method, like,
right,
dude, there's a fucking better way to say this, right? Well, hey, here's this thing is nice and shiny. Yeah. What that means to you is like, just fucking stop. Like, let's have a good conversation about this, and let's see how we can bring, the solutions to the customer in more of a conversational manner. But so for me, it was always very easy to find my sea legs in corporate America. I'm gonna tell you one of my biggest challenges, and we've had actual conversations about this, just me and you talking on the phone, is like, dude, like being an entrepreneur, especially in the online space, is very, very difficult. There's a world out there that motherfuckers like me and you are just learning. Like I learned more shit yesterday. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and we'll talk about it offline, but it's just like, wait, that's a thing?
Yep.
Like, what in the hell is going on?
Right.
And, I guess there's probably a bunch of people that will be listening to this episode like, dude, fucking elaborate. No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Not on that one.
No, not on this, because because it's an opportunity for somebody like myself and even you to expand our offerings and
Right.
things that we're doing in the online space. So, but it's really nuts, because unless you have somebody there, and I have an amazing mentor in this business, actually the best mentor, Paul Gitter. He's the best in the business.
Cool.
And as far as the online marketing and just kind of building brands and, his network, it's incredible. And I tell you what, I learned things from him that are almost shocking to me.
Okay.
And none of them are bad. Like, they're not like bad or like, they're just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
The light bulb goes out. But if you don't have people around you on your team and in your orbit that can help you through shit, I mean, it becomes very, very difficult, because you're just left there, freaking slamming your head up against the fucking wall.
Well, you said something really interesting there too, like to compare and contrast just the mindset. Okay. It's, you talked about the benefit and features in the business to business sales process and how you'd rather have a conversation. And I think you were taking this a little bit different direction than I'm about to, but compare that to the entrepreneurial world. Okay. Like what you learned, what you were just talking about with this whole digital marketing thing, this is new to you. This is fresh to you. You're excited about it. And at some point, that sales rep in that business to business environment, everything was new and fresh to him too. You know what I mean? And over time, okay, as salespeople, we like to be the smartest person in the room, all eyes on me. But if you're not into something that's complex enough where you could do things like what you just described, Shawn, where you could say, hey, let's have a conversation. There's going to be moving pieces here. Let's find you a solution. If you don't have that to motivate you in that B2B environment, you're going to outgrow that job. It's going to become mundane, and you're going to feel like you're just reading a damn PowerPoint presentation. Every buyer is asking the same damn questions. There's very little you could do from a pivoting perspective. They ask one question that's like that buzz question, and right away, okay, I know we're not getting them because we don't have a good solution for that. They just identified that's important because we don't integrate with XYZ software or whatever the hell the case may be.
Sure.
But guess what? You got to finish this 40-minute freaking presentation, and it's like a freaking knife in your damn ribs, like grinding with each slide, you hoping they don't ask any more questions because they're not going to get an account. Like, that's what I call the worst. Like, you don't want to be, if that describes your everyday job, dude, you have one life to live, man. You're only here once. Like, this is what you want to spend your time doing. I don't give a shit if you make $300,000. Like, you know what I mean? That is a lot of money. Like, you can't be torturing yourself,
No. And that's the thing, man. It's like, I've always been, able to, and I'm humbled by this. I've always been able to take that process and identifying, if I do it like this, ultimately long term, I'm going to burn out and I'm going to hate this. I got to make this mine. So I use my entrepreneurial spirit within whatever, whatever I'm selling, right, in my corporate life. And because, I don't even think most people know that I actually have a 9-to-5 corporate job. You do. But not many people do. And, I think I need to talk about that more, because you can do it all. You can have, separate successful things, right? As long as you know how to budget your fucking time. Right. So what I've learned is to be able to switch the narrative a little bit in my day-to-day environment. So I handle conversations how I want to handle them. Now, do I talk about all the different points? Absolutely. But it's done in my way. To a point of, we're going off on a tangent, but when you're talking about, it's nice to have, 16 advisors around you to help you. And then also to help your potential, clients or customers, whoever you guys are dealing with, to walk them through the process. You might have somebody, trying to sell something for the very first time.
Right. I like, that's exactly right. And, you just talked about something there where you have your corporate job, and then you could still have that entrepreneurial spirit and do something else beyond that, which obviously you're a great example of. I just think about in corporate America, and I'm not talking about you at this point, Shawn, just in general though, how you get, almost like haters. I remember a job that I had before I went on my own, and somebody kept overhearing me on the phone dealing with some rental property. I was like 24 years old. I had like 6 rental properties. It was before the damn freaking recession, and everyone was buying rental properties. And just the hate that was, bred from that is just incredible. And people are like using it against you. And I remember one of my managers owned a horse that Arlington Park Racetrack is near where we live. It's owned by Churchill Downs, and the horse racing there, and he owned part of a horse. And he would always make the damn comparison, like, it's not going to make me money. It's not an investment. It's for fun. Like a lot of people golf. I like to go watch my horse race and blah, blah, blah. Your hobby is golfing or going to the country club. I like to go do it horse racing. Okay. Well, I like to do my freaking fair time. Neither. My fair time, I like to build businesses and motherfucking dominate, dude. So why the fuck would you have a problem with me when you don't have a problem with people fucking golfing all the time? What the hell is wrong with you? And it's just simply because my hobby makes money and your hobby costs money. And that's a fucking problem for people. And the sales organization is the last place that should be a problem.
It's funny you say that, because like you would think like, okay, wait a second. Like if I'm a leader in the corporate setting and I have somebody on my team that is out there doing other shit, still producing, right? Still hitting his or her number every single year, overproducing.
Yep.
And they're doing this other thing, to build that entrepreneurial muscle that's actually going to help them in their career. Here, like for me, it would benefit me to have 12 people on my team that I'm leading that are just absolute dogs after hours. Like, all right, so wait a second, you mean to tell me you're working all day and then you are coming home, you're being with your family, and then from like the time that your kids are going to bed, like you and your wife are in the trenches building your business till what time? Like midnight. Yep. What time do you wake up? 4? What the fuck? I'm like, yeah, bro, that's what it takes. Like but it is, I mean, we can go down that road because it is taboo.
Yep.
It is taboo. And as far as the haters go, like get in fucking line, because they are fucking, hey, they're thick as thieves, bro. Anytime I put something out, there's Susie in the corner there, just chatting away. So it's interesting you said that, because in a sales environment, that should be the last concern. What should be a concern is the motherfucker sitting at home, never hitting their number and stealing money.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, man, it's funny too, because I remember, so while I worked for other people, I would always have these side hustles going on. Okay. Once I left and started on my own, I still kind of had that mindset of side hustles in addition to the core money I'm bringing in. And I would still do littler side hustles like rental properties and that shit. But as far as other businesses concerned, they were for the most part side hustles because they're side hustles. Once I was on my own and I was just able to generate, okay, it's $9.50 at night. If I worked for ABC company, maybe there's nothing to do, but you know what? Now that it's my own company, there is something to do at 9:50 p.m. at night. And that was really a paradigm shift for me. That was I generate everything to build in that company, man. Everything, all my thoughts. And it's just like, you ever have like a little kid that has too much sugar? I dated this girl once that had this 2-year-old, and if you gave him like too many pixie sticks, he'd like start shaking because he didn't
cocaine.
he didn't know what to do with his energy. He didn't know what to do with his energy.
Are you serious? He literally shake.
He literally would shake, and it was kind of like funny. We were like, oh shit, we'll give him a lollipop, and
I'm out.
And it was not like we weren't overfeeding the kid sugar. I mean, he had like 2 bites. That's just how we reacted to it.
And watch this motherfucker shake.
I was like, we make a TikTok about it. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to say her name, but if she's listening, I'm sorry. We will not.
You're sorry. I'm sorry. I hope her name's not Susie. And happy birthday.
No, it's not Susie. That's great. Yeah, but anyway, my whole point is like compare that to when you're working for somebody else. All right. Like you can't make calls in the middle of the night. Sometimes you know, there's nothing to do, but your mind is still going. Your mind's still wanting to build. there might be nothing you could do with this. You can't just sit there practicing your damn power presentation or rechecking the freaking pamphlet for errors or thinking, memorizing everyone's name and checking their LinkedIn for background. At some point, it caps out, okay? When you're an entrepreneur and you have your own company, it never caps out. There's always something, all right? So working for someone else, that's great, but like there shouldn't be that problem. You need to fulfill that entrepreneurial spirit in you still with something else. And it could be buying and reselling football cards online. It could be, my daughter now is doing something where she's found this way to buy shoes and resell them for $40 more. I don't really understand it. I'm just hoping it's not illegal, but it's right. And it's not. I'm just kidding.
Nice college job.
It's just one of those damn things, man. And anyhow, that's a kind of, I never really said this out loud before, but that right there was a big shift for me in mindset, what I just described. And it was probably over about a 2-year period where I had to like realize it was happening, which was kind of cool to talk about.
It's really cool because like I can relate, right? So although I'm doing 2 different things right now, I'm doing my business at night, and then when it's time to shut down, kids are go to bed, I do a little bit of work, and I do everything that I need to with me and my wife. We'll do whatever we need to do. Right. 'Cause she's my business partner and she handles all the back end stuff, the things that I suck at. And then I close my computer and then I'm like, fuck, like, I forgot this. Like we have to do this. And it's just like, okay, this is something that I can do on my own. If you want to watch a show or if you want to go to sleep, cool, do you, but I really need to do this for tomorrow. And it could be content, right? Cause that's the other thing. It's like, like I'm okay. I'm cool if like I don't have something on a Saturday or Sunday to put out. Like I don't like whatever. Fuck it, I don't care. But it can't be Monday through Friday. Like I have to put something out. Typically Monday through Saturday. Like I need something out there. So if I don't have anything, or if I'm kind of running out of shit, or if I feel like, hey, this isn't going to perform, I need to do something different. Which right now is like the fucking Da Vinci Code. You can't figure out what's going to perform and what's not. But that's the thing. It's just like your mind never shuts off. I'm the fucking kid with the pixie sticks. It's a thing, man. But like, listen, dude,
I'm gonna tell you what, man. So if probably some of your audience and that's in sales or the entrepreneurial mindset is anyone that ever has trouble sleeping, because everything you're just describing right now is like anxiety, where I would wake up something when I'm in the thick of things. I can't sleep. So my recommendation, if anyone else has this problem where they're going to bed at 10 o'clock and waking up at 2 a.m. wide awake and jumping right on your computer, that's not healthy to do. You got to sleep. Unisom, UNISOM. It's over the counter. It is.
I've heard about that. I bought my wife some of that.
You wake up
sometimes.
Dude, you're not groggy when you wake up. It's so anyway.
No, it's good. Like, like this thing, like it is one of those things where you just, sometimes your mind doesn't shut off. And it's crazy for me because like, no matter what's going on in my life, like, I could be going through the worst part of my life. Like it could be fucking raining fire. And when I go to sleep, I sleep all the way through the night.
Yep.
Unless I get up and go to the bathroom, but I don't have the wake up at 2 o'clock anymore. I used to have that when I was at my HR company sales position, because it was very transactional. It was like all the time, like, oh my God, do I got docs on this? I'm supposed to run in 2 days. So I wake up and like fucking payroll's supposed to run. I don't have the shit. If they don't run a payroll this week, then it's going to next month. I can't tell my boss that. So I got to get it to run. Right. So like all that kind of shit, right. Would bother me, but fuck all that. So listen, you have a new book coming out called The 2000% Raise.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Fucking tell these people about that, man.
2000% raise, 2000% spelled out raise.com. If anybody wants to get on our mailing list. It is also the name of the podcast that's starting in a couple of weeks as well. And it's really for entrepreneurs. It's talking about, sitting around waiting for your boss in corporate America to give you that raise. And hopefully it's at least a cost of living. Hopefully it's more than cost of living. Although with inflation right now, maybe a cost of living increase would be on the higher end. But screw that. Give yourself a 2000% raise by putting yourself on top of the org chart. Build equity in yourself instead of building it for somebody else. And it's really an examination of the realities and really the pitfalls of corporate America, combined with evaluating yourself to figure out if you could cut it on your own, and it goes through a self-analysis. And not every good salesperson should own a business.
No,
not every employee that's on the fast track should stay in corporate America. I use myself as a guide. I was 27 years old. I had an office, I had an assistant, and this was an insurance giant in publicly traded company. I was on that fast track, man, for sure. I was going to be in management, mid-tier management in the next few years, and probably upper management if it kept going the right track. And this is a very well-known company that's based in Chicago that people look to. And, I almost gave my parents both heart attacks when I sat there and told them I'm quitting that job. Wait, you're leaving there? Are you kidding me? Sharon's husband has worked there for years, and he's friggin', look at how much money they have and all this stuff. And it's it was a difficult decision, but I had an epiphany, Shawn, that I don't think a lot of people have. And I saw a path that is just not visible to many. So I talk about what I call the macro brainwash and the micro brainwash in the book. And the macro brainwash is society. It's our conditioning in society, to think that it's kind of like in the 1950s. Home ownership's the right way. Okay, well, have kids or get married and have kids. Do it in that order, things of that nature. And, here we are in 2022. And if somebody came out and said that, what I just said, many would consider it offensive. You got shows like Modern Family on TV that, quite frankly, are high in viewership because people relate to that. Okay. So there's been a paradigm shift over the last 70 years in mindset. There's been an evolution. Okay. There has not been the same kind of evolution on how we view work life. All right. Start your career, climb up that corporate ladder. That is good. Entrepreneurship and risk is bad. Okay. And that's what I call the macro brainwash. The micro brainwash is what's happening within the organization you're actually working at. All right. And it happens to all of us. Oh man, I'm just assistant vice president right now. Shit. I want to get Todd's job eventually. I'm going to report to Todd and kiss his ass harder than other people kiss their ass and laugh harder at his jokes, because in 6 years, I want to be vice president one day. And things like job title and making you incented because of that. Oh, wow. That's Joe. He's a freaking vice president at Merrill Lynch. Oh, shit. He's the vice president of Merrill Lynch. Holy shit. He must be a freaking billionaire, right? No, actually, no. He's a vice president like 1,000 other people with that title at Merrill Lynch. Give me a fucking break. You know what I mean? And I'm not picking on Merrill Lynch. I love Merrill Lynch.
Sure. There's a lot of different titles, same titles.
Thank you. Any bank, any sales organization, everyone's got these damn vice president titles, bro. Like, it doesn't make any damn sense. So this is, and it's not just titles. It's what we all put emphasis on in that organization. We've been brainwashed to place value on things that really shouldn't matter. One of the things for me was looking at the client deliverables. Okay. Hey, listen. When I was working for the big dog, people look at these vendors, man. Holy shit, they want to take us to golf outings. Oh my God, they're taking us to a Cubs game. One of them flew me out to Tennessee for some freaking shit, dude. Why? Because I worked at that company, and oh wow, they're gonna look good to their boss that they got somebody from that company to come out. Look at us. What the F was this doing for the client? How was this being a deliverable to the client? Nothing's happening. Us drinking at a golf course all frickin' day. You think we're frickin' talking about analyzing how we could better serve our clients? Give me an effing break, dude. Nothing's happening there. But we placed value on it. We felt more important because of it. Dude, isn't our job to enhance the deliverables for our client? That's our damn job.
1,000%.
So this is all part of the micro brainwash, and it's things like this I really get into pretty heavily within the book. And obviously, I use my background as a guide, but by no means is this supposed to be a biography on me. It's really to help people out there right now.
I'm excited, man. When's it coming out? Because I need this shit.
Yeah, well, it'll be right around the holidays, probably a week or two before Thanksgiving. It's already written. I just kind of have to press the button on Amazon to put it out there, but we're getting close.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, your boy's going to need a fucking sneak peek, bro.
All right, man.
For sure.
All right. Well, congrats on your book, by the way. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you. What'd you think, man?
I love it. I'm not a big reader. There's very few books that I'll actually sit down and read. Yeah. Got through quite a bit of yours. Still reference it. It's in my laptop. And yours is written in a way that I appreciate, man. You get to the point. It's not overly wordy and easy to follow.
I don't know too many fucking words, Sean. I mean, that's the fucking point, right? Yeah. Like I'm not a super intelligent guy, right? I have some skills and I'm marginally smart, but the thing with my book, and I appreciate that, I'm, blessed that you read it and that you liked it. I wanted to write this first book and it was a very quick read. And I really just wanted to get something out there. Just like, hey, like we're all alike. We all have these things that we've grown up with, or things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. It could be fucking limiting beliefs, what the fuck ever. But hey, the fucking work needs to get done, and we have a choice. Are we going to fucking fall victim to our emotions and how we feel at that certain moment, or are we going to push forward and we're going to do what we said we're going to do because it's part of our process and it is the main ingredient for our success. And that's what I wanted to get out in this book. And I did not think that, and dude, this thing hasn't even, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't even put ads on this thing yet. Yep. And every single day I'm getting somebody message me about this book. I'm getting somebody tagging me in this. We had somebody from the Middle East tag me today, dude. I'm like, wow, dude, this is fucking incredible.
That's amazing.
And wants to he's like, hey man, I would love to work with you. Like, this is what I do. If you ever are in, the market for somebody like me, it would be like a dream for me to work for you. I'm
shit. Good for you, man. How many words? Do you know how many words was your book?
Just shy of 15 G's.
15,000. Okay. Yeah. Mine's not too, mine's like 23,000. So mine's not crazily long either.
I mean, and I gotta be honest with you. The reason why it was so to the point is because I did videos. Yeah. I did videos and then I typed the shit out.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, for me, it worked like that because I can sit there and I can get on camera, I can get on video and just go to town. Yeah. Right? It's easier for me to get started. Right. Yeah. And so once that happens, I'm just like, at that point, I'm a court reporter.
Right. I love it.
I'm gone. So, the next one is going to be, I have some checkpoints and I've got an idea already about it. Nice. And, I'm waiting for the right time to probably start writing. I'd say probably about 6 months. Yeah. And I'll shoot to get that thing done to completion within 3 weeks. Okay. Like I'm going to crank that bitch out, but,
awesome. And are you're doing speaking, Sean, or no?
Yeah. I actually have a conference not this weekend, but next weekend for a big network marketing fitness company. Okay. And they have a leader retreat in Destin, Florida. And I've been invited up there to, and my family, they got this big old mansion on the beach house. Okay. And we're going to, I'm going to do a 2-day event there.
Awesome.
So I'm pretty excited.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then, man. So we're stacking up the speech, engagements and all that stuff. So I'm excited, man. What about yourself? Are you doing any speaking?
I'm not, so I'm a little bit different, thanks for pointing out earlier with me that I had, that I don't really need to work. So I'm not really, I guess not really monetizing things as much or looking down that pipeline as much as people that, other influencers, I guess, in social media. But I feel like speaking is such a big thing to take on. I would love to do it from an ego standpoint, but gosh, you got to put so much time and effort into, number one, getting the gigs, but number two, making sure you deliver on that damn thing. As you know, you're going to prepare the hell for that thing. And I just don't have any kind of follow up for the people at my events where, if I was doing business coaching or anything really, then it would make a lot more sense for me. It would be engaging. But, I guess if something came, the National Boy Scouts of America asked me to do something for their Eagle Scouts, which was a bunch of 19-year-olds.
Yeah, make sure they're fucking adults because like you know who they're asking.
Yeah, well, I tell you, come on. I'm gonna tell you what though. I did it, and I spent a good week really preparing for it. It was a big deal. It was their their jamboree thing or whatever, and it felt great. It felt great to do the damn thing, but at the same time, there's no takeaway for me. I just don't know how much time I could put into that stuff.
Well, I'm actually like I haven't said this to anybody, so I guess I'm going to say it on the air. I am creating my own speaking conference, like my own speaking events.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
And I've got some people lined up already. So the cool thing is I'm going to make you speak at one of them. So sorry.
I'll do that, man. I'll do that.
We'll fly you down here and you'll have a little vacation in Naples, Florida. You'll there's worse things in life.
Dude, you'll get people to go. Yeah. Venue matters for that shit. To get people to show up to that stuff, venue matters. So I think you get like the fact that you're in Florida already is helpful.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of places in Florida that I could do it at too, and then I would even travel if it made sense. Like we could do that. But man, listen, dude, we got to land the plane, and I absolutely cannot wait for your book to come out. I can't wait to read it. I am already subscribed. I believe you'll have to confirm on your website. I believe I did it, but I told you I'm not very smart. So if it didn't go through, you guys shoot me a text and let me know. But listen, guys, if you got anything out of this episode today, which I would venture to say that you did, I'm fairly positive you learned something from my boy John, and just that his story inspired you that you can do and be more in your life, that you just have to make a fucking decision and just double down on yourself. And it can happen at any point in your life, but you got to bet on you first. And then the next thing you got to do is you got to take action, because too many people have these great ideas and they don't take action. And let me ask you a question. What's the cost of inaction, right? So if you got anything out of the show, like I said, please share the show out, share it to your stories, tag us on social media. I'll have his information in the show notes. Tag us both. We'll both add it back to our socials, and we want to hear from you. I mean, like straight up, like I want to know what you got out of this episode. So with that being said, John, my homie, thanks again.
Yeah, man.
And it was a great pleasure, long overdue, and I'm super jacked that we got to do it. But guys, until next time, take care and be safe.
Awesome.